How are we doing here with Tommy Palasek? I believe I said that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right. Syracuse Spark player. And what we were just talking about, how awesome the PBLA has been, making sure, like you're coming all the way from Long Island, so that's quite a trip.
Yeah, you know, it really was been a smooth transition, a great weekend altogether. Easy trip up here. The league's been, great with putting us all up and making sure we've got this awesome facility here at the Nexus Center. I believe. Yeah, it's been kind of first class. Everything's been really nice, and to me, it's been a great opportunity to get guys together. Being in a bunch of different professional sports before, my favorite part is being able to be with the guys and allow organizations to bring guys together. And so far, so good. Everything's been pretty much on point with taking care of the players so far.
Yeah, and now that's one thing. So for you, you've been doing this for a little while, but for some of these guys, this is their first experience. What is that like to get to see some of these kids, going through now what you did?
Yeah, I think it's great. You could see the excitement on a lot of the guys' faces. I think that also what's unique about this team is Coach has brought together a lot of this, like guys who have either played with each other or have played against each other competitively in leagues. So I think that for me, it's I've been playing pro ball for a long time now, but I think that's been the coolest part about seeing them come together because they've already played together, and this is an opportunity to allow what I think lacrosse has needed for a while, more teams to be professional players. Like these guys that are in the room, there's guys that deserve it, and there's not always enough spots in lacrosse, whether that be other pro leagues or field or indoor. And I think for them, it's really cool. I'm more introducing myself to a lot of the guys on the team, but it's been cool to see the new guys be able to kind of do it together, and the start's been great.
Yeah. Now, one thing this league's really focusing on is athletic players, up and down the floor, two-way transition.
Right.
I mean, and watching you guys practice, that's one thing this team has a lot of as athletes.
Right. Yeah, I agree. You could tell the coach, Coach Kogan, real focus was to get up and down the field pretty much all weekend and kind of assess that awareness, how your stick skills are, getting up and down the floor, making decisions in the 2-on-1s and the 3-on-2s. That it seems like there's going to be a high volume of those. So, Coach made the focus, get a lot of shots on goals. The goalies can see that. Work on supporting each other on defense in those uneven situations, and just kind of getting together the new rules with the substitutions and how we're going to do that. I think coaches every drill we did from start to finish has been focused on making sure that we're figuring that out as a unit. I think he even did an awesome job at kind of sitting back sometimes and just watching and see who was going to be a leader and pick out second guys places that they need to go, and it's been from start to finish. I think that's definitely been the major point of focus.
Yeah, and that's one thing watching the team out there. Like you said, everybody seems to gel really well. It seemed to happen quickly. This is the first training camp, right?
That's right.
And yeah, for the second day of the first training camp, not being here, I mean, the guys were starting to really click. You can see they're kind of doing the no-look passes to each other, starting to figure out where guys are on the floor.
That's right. Yeah, and the game, that's the beautiful thing about lacrosse. The game caters to that sort of creativity. You'll see guys of all shapes and sizes out there on our floor and are able to do things with their stick, or like you said, throw passes behind their back or off on the bounce, or bing bang boom type plays. And I think that this format for lacrosse is going to be the one that kind of helps accelerate. Everyone will be able to see that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think having the guys get up and down the floor like that, making that transition. Also, it's more realistic for a lot of these youth leagues. So when the kids are watching, it's more their style of play where you don't have all the specialists, because a lot of these towns don't get to do it. I think it's really cool you guys are.
Yeah, and I think that's like the main thing, especially with box lacrosse, and is being able to allow the youth leagues to be able to see what they can be in the future. And you said the great thing about being able to go behind the back and backhands and all the crazy shots is you'll notice at the pro level with the guys out there that their fundamentals are just on point as well. The ball is snapping from ear to ear. It's on point everywhere it goes, and that's what allows them to kind of open up the creativity. And if you watch that in person, I think in any pro sport, lacrosse in particular, you really do see the difference. You can watch it on the TV and see it, but when you see it in person and you realize how strong the guys' stick skills are and how well they do the fundamentals, and then you can see why it opens up those easy behind the backs or those easy skip passes or things that that are the exciting part of the game.
Yeah, and like you said, the window size and the speed of it. So like guys will hit behind the back passes and it doesn't look that impressive on TV, but when you're there and you see how fast it really is, and you're seeing that small window he put it through, and the athleticism of even catching some of these passes. I mean, you've got guys throwing 80, 90 mile an hour, rips across the crease, hitting somebody on the backside post, and the guy's quick sticking it. the stick skill level is something that, like you said, you can't just, you got to learn it. You got to really feel it.
Yeah,
you can
and
tell.
it takes a lot. I know, and that's the best part about like coming together as a team in lacrosse. It takes a lot of guys' efforts on their own. You know, in pro lacrosse, you have to figure out a way to get it done on a weekly basis and be accountable for your teammates. And sometimes that means not always doing it together. We don't always have, you know, the full-time amount of practice, and guys are accountable for each other. And that's the cool part. It seems like everybody here is all in. And it really does. It's one of those things where I think everybody, they're here because they really want to be here, and they're here because they want this team to be a championship caliber team, and they want to do their part as a part of it. So it's really exciting to see. It's been a really successful weekend, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely been an awesome weekend. I can't wait to see what the Spark team has, and I mean, like you said, getting to see it live. Now, how is it? It's got to be pretty exciting getting to play in Syracuse. I mean, Syracuse is a pretty legendary spot for lacrosse.
Yep. Yeah, of course. You know, talking historically, outside of my own personal opinion, is there's some of the, I mean, pretty much the best players that have ever played the game have played it somewhere in this area, whether that's at the Dome, you know, playing just, you know, good lacrosse here from when you're 5 years old up to when you graduate high school, and you know, if you're lucky enough to play at Syracuse, same thing. The standard here for lacrosse is always something that stuck out for me, especially when I was playing there. You know, as an alumni, you want to be a part of it whenever which way you can. So the second I heard that we were getting a chance to be up here, I knew that was what I you know, what I wanted to do. I couldn't wait to get back up here and hopefully get to play in front of the same fan base that was, you know, that helps support the Syracuse University, and really just the community at all. You know, you're always impressed with being a Long Islander. I always think that Long Island's got the best lacrosse, and we support all of our players the best. And you know, the best players that ever played come from there. But you know, I think that upstate is, you know, it rivals that on every level, and the Syracuse area just, you know, brings it when it comes to playing the game.
Yeah, and speaking of, so when you played at Syracuse, so you played defense, correct?
No,
all right, I'm sorry.
I played, got to play attack. I played a tiny bit of midfield, but it was all offense.
Gotcha. I thought you were. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
So you were attacking at Syracuse?
I was attacking at Syracuse.
What
yeah.
years?
I was from 2011 to 2012. I played attack. I played with you know, a really strong senior class group there. It was Joel White, John Galloway. You know, those are the guys who won championships there for a few years before that. But yeah, I played offense. Coach Tesco was the coach when I was there, and that's kind of, even that just speaks towards the greatness that is Syracuse lacrosse. You know, you have Coach Tesco is probably one of the best coaches to ever do it, and they transitioned to Gary Gate, who is the best player who's ever done it. And you know, it's not that easy to do when you're moving coaches at that high of a level. So there's an exciting future for them there for that reason. And you know, it's easy. I've been up here. It's easy to reflect on all the good things that I had when I was here.
Yeah, it really is a special place to play. I've watched a couple games up there.
And the offense, speaking to the offensive side of it, and that's what's exciting, that Coach Kogan is kind of similar in this way. He wants to push an up tempo. He wants to push good fast break lacrosse, good stick work up the field. You know, put the pressure on other teams with that high pace offense and strong defense, and that's kind of what it was at Syracuse when I was there the whole time. Anyone who's watched Syracuse lacrosse knows that it's a very welcomed place to be creative, but you got to play hard. And you want to pick up every ground ball. You want to move it up the field. You want to play fast break lacrosse, and then on top of that, just kind of play an aggressive style of offense where you attack. And I think that that's one of those things that Syracuse has held on forever. And I think that that's really cool that, you know, Coach Kogan is doing the exact same thing, and you know, kind of taking on that you know, that similar approach.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like it's like Mike Tyson says, everybody's got to play until you get punched in the mouth.
Right.
The pressure changes everything.
Right. Yeah, and you know, furthermore, when it comes to Syracuse lacrosse, you've got you know, you've got places like box areas that some of the best box players in the world have come from. So you get everything when it comes to the sport here, and it comes from so many good places and good people that I think that there's just going to be, you know, especially with the Syracuse Spark and the support that we have from the league, I think that the community behind us, it's going to be something that could be pretty, you know, pretty special, and some people probably want to be a part of it.
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next weekend.
Cool.
Thanks, man.